the church leaders who have gathered us together. Allow me first to bring the apology of the Right Honorable Prime Minister, who got caught up by a delegation that came from Venezuela and could not leave them unattended to, and requested that I give the message of government on this very important national prayer, which addresses the issue of human trafficking and focusing on the role of technology in either facilitating, exposing, or making us know what is happening in respect to trafficking in this country. I want to thank you for organizing the prayer, because all of us are children of God. All of us, when things are difficult, turn to God to seek for answers. Turn to God to give us strength so that we are able to search our soul and find a solution that is in the center of humanity. And as Bishop Were indicated, that the church is important in engagement of the political players and seeking actions from the people who occupy offices that should respond to issues that affect society, and in these circumstances, issues of human trafficking. And the national prayer comes at the backdrop of media campaigns, but also media exposition of those that are suffering in respect to the effect of trafficking. We are seeing people in Dubai who are sleeping outside for so long, and technology has been able to expose the vice and the impact it is creating to those people. I'm also glad that from the speech of various people, we note that trafficking is not only trafficking abroad, because when we talk about trafficking, people want to reduce it, or some people want to make it only as a matter targeting those who travel abroad. But I'm glad that I saw people from Karamoja here standing up for internal trafficking, because while we talk about trafficking abroad, the statistics of children from Karamoja that are trafficked into the streets of Kampala is glaring, and unfortunately those who are perpetrators are some of them people who come from that very area. People who get money from the parents and use these children on the street, but also as sex objects. Even internally in Uganda, in our office in the Ministry of Gender, we have been receiving several pleas from girls that have been trafficked, either as housemaids from up country to come to Kampala, all those who have been trafficked from all over the country to go to sugar plantation without their knowledge, without their acceptance, people who have been trafficked for sexual exploitation, and there are so many bars and brothels that are trafficking girls from Rwanda, from Burundi, from within Uganda, and using them as sex workers. So I want to emphasize the fact that trafficking is no longer about only those who have testified who go abroad, but also this internal trafficking is increasing and is being done by some of us internally from Uganda. I also want to indicate that the form of trafficking is becoming more and more complex, and I'm glad that there are people who have articulated the different forms that people are trafficked through lies, through deceit, that you're being taken for jobs, you are trafficked through other neighboring countries like Kenya, and that is why it is very important for us and as government, we are more keenly interested in ensuring that we make migration, because migration for work is a phenomena that we cannot stop. People who migrate to go to work, whether they are coming to work from up country into the city, or they want to leave Uganda to work in any other country, it is legal and permissible. What is important is how can we as government make it safe, make it orderly, and regulate it, and make sure when people are in those countries, there is a mechanism that is in place to address the complaints that are affecting the migrant workers. So I want to indicate that yes, we recognize that trafficking is happening, and the Ministry of Internal Affairs and the lady articulated very well how the agents, because the trafficking is a very big network, and she articulated the network. The network of agents who are here in Uganda, who deceive these people and give them visas that are not work visa. They lie and give you visitors visa, they give you tourist visa, they take you to countries where Uganda does not have any bilateral agreement with them. For instance, Oman, which now hosts over 40,000 Ugandans working in Oman. The government of Uganda does not have a labor agreement for Ugandans to work in Oman. That's why the lady who spoke here talked about how they are trafficked, they are lied that they are going to Dubai, then they bring you another ticket showing Oman, or they take you to Dubai and give you another ticket from Dubai and traffic you to Oman. So I want to state that in this circumstance, government has analyzed all the routes that are being taken by traffickers, and the Ministry of Internal Affairs has taken a paper in cabinet, but has also made proposals together with us in the Ministry of Gender to have a robust monitoring system at the airport to make sure that those who are going to be traveling, especially to the Middle East, if we find out that you are a girl between 21 years to 40 years and you are going by visitor's visa or tourist visa, and you cannot account for any job that you are doing there, you are first-time travelers, we are going to bring a regulation to make sure that the immigration officer will deny you passing through the Entebbe airport, because that is the major traffic point, the tourist visa and the visitor's visa. So we have already made the proposal. It's to be discussed in cabinet, and I am certain that if we agree as a country, and I want to request the church to come and allow engagement, but also help us with the parents and these girls and the lawyers, because when we brought that proposal, the lawyers started saying You cannot, an 18-year-old girl who has consented as a visa, as a passport, and is going where she's going, you cannot stop them. They have their own right. And even these girls themselves, there are many we have intercepted at Entebbe Airport. And we want to bring them back to their parents. They go to the lawyers, they go to the court, they get a court injunction to restrain government from stopping them going to Oman, going to Jordan, going to countries that they are being trafficked. So I'm glad that this prayer has come at the right time where we are now coming with this regulation. I want to request you to help us engage the lawyers, the human rights organizations, not to start siding with the traffickers, so that measures that we are coming with will be acceptable as a country, so that we are able to address this vice. With those people who are already in the countries where they are and they have been trafficked, as government, we have worked out a mechanism to bring them back. As I speak now in Dubai, together with the government of UAE, we have a program of bringing all those who have gone illegally, so long as they have not committed any crime, they are being assessed. So far, we have found over 200 who do not have passports. They went with their passports, but because they were trafficked, immediately you reach there, like she was saying, they remove away your passport. And if you try to shift or to escape, they destroy the passport. So just as I was here, I was coordinating about around 20 girls who are supposed to go to the immigration center in Al Hawir in Dubai to facilitate their coming, but all of them do not have their passport. So now we are processing their passport, and once the passports are processed, they will be coming back. In the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, we have also had a bilateral with them. We have agreed for any who have been trafficked, or for those who have finished their contract and their bosses are denying them return, because there's also that category. They go through official channel. When they finish the 2 years, because under the Ministry of Gender, when we license you, you go for 2 years and you are supposed to return back. But their bosses, when you finish the 2 years, they refuse to give you what they call exit visa, because under the law, you are supposed to be given exit visa to come back. You cannot come out without an exit visa. So this category also in Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, we have registered so far over 300 who have so far finished their 2 years. They want to come back, but the bosses have said, no, you are very good, continue to work, and these girls psychologically can no longer hold staying in those countries. So that one, we are also working on it. On the issue of monitoring, because the most important thing we have decided is whether a Ugandan has gone through trafficked or through the legal route, it is our responsibility as government to bring them back when they are in distress. So we have designed a robust mechanism to receive complaints through the online system, through 24-hour call center, but also we are employing lawyers who are themselves Arabs, who know Sharia law, who the law permits them to access the homes where the girls are. And we shall give the girls the 24-hour call center. We will give them the numbers of the lawyers, the number of our labor touches and workers in ambassador and our ambassador and embassy staff, so that you can be able to call when you are in distress and you can be easily rescued through the legal process that we have had arranged as a monitoring mechanism. So as we come for these joint prayers, I want to assure you on behalf of government that we are ready to work with you. We are ready to partner in awareness creation. We are ready to partner in ensuring that we come up with a solution a solution that answers the national question, but also to work to make sure that Uganda is safe for people, the economic environment is safe for people to invest in Uganda, so that we avoid having people traveling abroad, because the major pull factor and push factor is the economic survival. So we will work to make sure that we can provide capital that somebody will know that they can invest and survive in Uganda, but also let them know that where they think the economy is okay, when you go there equally, it is worse than Uganda. And I'm happy that the lady who testified actually said that she thought Uganda was the worst, but she found that out there actually Uganda is better. And when someone narrated how the person who they traveled with and landed into the country and was crying and saying that she has to be a champion of telling people that do not go out there, struggle here, I want to have that commitment that we will do everything to make sure that our Ugandans can survive economically in Uganda, so that they don't need to go and suffer. And if they must go, they go for skilled employment. They migrate for skilled work, but not domestic work. And this matter is still debated, and Cabinet is going to make decision on substantial matter. But I also noted that when you spoke, you indicated the need for government to support you and your work. I had a chat over the phone with the Prime Minister, and the Prime Minister has asked me to tell you that she will ensure that when you submit through your Uganda Joint Christian Council or any other agency that brings you together, she commits that government will support your work so that you can help us to fight this vice. And she has requested that if you have time, you will then, she will then be able to meet a delegation from UJCC and the people who organize this function to discuss more on what support you require from government, so that we can be able to undertake and make a firm commitment on supporting you. With that, I want to thank you for organizing this and recommit that government will continue to support the work and commit to fight the vice. Thank you very much.